Yo, what's up guys? Shooting Riser Dragon just got announced, a new synchro monster, and synchros are one of my favorite types of extra dark monsters, but it just got announced. We don't know the effect yet, but I'm pretty excited once again to see another synchro in the game, still seeing some support for them. Definitely quite cool. We'll talk a little about this card in a second, but the card I really want to talk about is Goddess of Sweet Revenge. So over on the Konami Yugioh blog site, they actually posted this thing that's like, it's a new hand trap like Ghost, Ogre, Snow Rabbit, Ash Blossom, and Joy Spring. And I was like, okay, is this a new OP $100 card? But anyways, let's go ahead and read the effect, and then we'll talk about this kind of funny article in a second. But anyways, first off, let's go ahead and check out the effect. Now, some people are saying this card is broken, some people are saying this card is terrible. Let's go ahead and check out the effect, and then you guys can decide. So, first off, Goddess of Sweet Revenge. So it's a level 6 light fairy effect monster, 1800 attack, and 2000 defense points. And it says, while you control no cards, and this is the only card in your hand, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can discard this card, destroy as many cards as possible your opponent controls, then you can special summon one monster from your deck. That's pretty cool, man. I mean, you're gonna blow up everything that they have. And then on top of that, you also get any monster from your deck. Granted, it's a monster that can be like special summoned from the deck, you know, in that circumstance. That's an insane effect, alright? And I was just thinking about, like, you know, yes, its condition to actually summon is kind of difficult, right? You gotta be basically either top decking, or you gotta be playing a deck that's gonna just go all in really, really fast. But I was thinking about, like, it actually, can it be good? Alright, so let's go ahead and bust out YGOPRO here, because I was thinking, like, what boss monster could you just randomly tech in a deck, right? Now, unfortunately, if you ran this card, and you ran multiple, if you drew doubles, that would be horrible. It is technically still a fairy. Granted, you could just use it with, like, Valhalla, or it could be just, like, a random tech card you can run in other things. But overall, like, I just found it very difficult to try to just utilize, like, its stats, and, like, it being a fairy and level 6. I thought you could special summon it at first, but no, it just gets rid of the card. Yeah, you discard it. But you get to get rid of everything your opponent has. That's like, you know, that's a Regeki plus a Harpy's Feather Duster and any monster. And again, I was looking at, like, you know, what would be like the best cards that you could just, like, get out, because a lot of times what would happen is, you know, your opponent has other cards in their hand. But Archer Christia is a pretty strong card, which makes it so neither player can special summon. It's a 2800 attacker. And I was just trying to think of, like, what other cards you can get. What's funny with the blog, though, they're like, you can get rid of all your opponent's stuff and then special summon AzneyesWhitedragon. I'm like, dude, who wrote this? And it's written by unknown. I mean, come on, you gotta put your name on here. You're hyping this card up. I just don't think that the card is, like, super, super amazing, but it's not absolutely terrible. Like, it has maybe some uses. And I was thinking, you know, what deck goes all in? Because generally, people don't just throw out every card on the field and then go, okay, go ahead. Because we have cards like Evenly Matched, which actually see play. You know, this card, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, or Struggling Battles, what it used to be called, but Evenly Matched, you know, you're able to basically get rid of everything, and it's like a card where, like, I win the game, so people aren't generally going to, again, go all in. Now, there is a deck right now, the Brandish. I'm sure a lot of you guys that have been playing Brandish, have played, if you guys have played against this deck. In fact, this is actually one of the most popular decks right now in the game for online. Like, everybody's playing this deck because, you know, it's new, and, you know, it's got the mech waifus. So everyone's pretty excited about trying out the deck. And it's not a bad deck. It just kind of has a lot of limitations as of right now with the two cards that are in the extra deck. And pretty much this card just gets the cards in the extra deck anyways. But this deck definitely goes all in. A lot of times you'll see that continuous spell card, which is the multi-roll. They're going to be sending a lot of cards in their back row. So if you were able to, again, potentially, well, we're jumping ahead ourselves. I want to talk about Destroyed in a second. But Goddess of Sweet Revenge could gain a huge amount of advantage. Now, granted, they will get that extra card, but you'll be able to get rid of all of their, you know, cards. On top of that, if you special summon Christia, well, they're not going to get out the, you know, special summonable monster because, well, Christia says no special summoning. But I just think that it's a very difficult card to pull off in majority of decks. Another thing I was thinking about is just playing it in, like, any, like, burn deck. In fact, we were actually playing a variant of Nurse Burn. I forgot what I called it. I called it Lilith. I was trying to use Lilith, Lady of Lament. It's another card that's new, but basically I was thinking that like any deck that just uses like a bunch of cards really fast, right? You just burn through all your cards. That wasn't supposed to be a pun, but like you just use all of the cards really fast, you know, in a deck where you just go all in and you just try to go for game, and you know, you might be short some damage. So this could be technically used in that aspect, and unfortunately there's not like a really good card to summon in like a burn deck. That's just kind of how they are. But maybe if you happen to have like Lava Golem or something like that, hey, you can special. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember. Lava. Oh wait, Lava Golem is not a spell. Lava Golem. So it cannot be normal summon or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand. Okay, so maybe that wouldn't be a target. But I'm just trying to think of other cards. If you guys think of any other ways to use Goddess' Sweet Revenge, let me know in the comment section below. I think it has some uses. Another thing I really was interested in trying, because I actually was like, dude, I want to build this deck right now, and I actually wanted to try to make a zombie deck. Utilizing a bunch of like the new like support that we had from zombies. Well, I guess Book of Life technically is an older card, but like but basically a bunch of the other zombie stuff that we got recently. And well, I guess it's technically vampires, but basically I wanted to build a deck that just threw out a bunch of Omegas, because I was like, wait, isn't Omega 1 at first? We're talking about the synchro, by the way. So, like, there's a bunch of ways that you can just summon, like, you know, synchros. And what I thought was interesting with Omega is, well, it's at multiple and the TCG, right? Because in OCG, it's at 1. So I was thinking maybe you could use your Omegas, right? Therefore, you just kind of run cards like, you know, let's say, for example, like Zombie Master, where you discard this to go for this, your Plague Spreader, or whatever the case may be. You go really minus, alright? You just try to make multiple Omegas. And then when you have your multiple Omegas, you get rid of their cards in their hand, and then everything on the field, you just go ahead and Goddess Sweet Revenge when they attack, and you clear your board, right? And then on top of that, because your opponent might try to set everything because like, oh, I don't want him to Omega my card next turn or whatever, so I'm going to go ahead and set them so he doesn't have any targets. Then you surprise them with the Goddess of Sweet Revenge, and you can summon like another card. So I don't know, it has, again, some uses. I think a lot of people would be interested in side decking this card against certain archetypes, potentially, but I feel like evenly matched just does the job better. I just feel like this card really doesn't need to exist for competitive play, like as far as us trying out the card. I mean, who knows, maybe someone will figure out a really broken combo with it. Again, for the most part, I think players are just way overhyping this card, but you guys can let me know if you think it's OP or if it's trash, or you guys let me know if you think there's a cool combo with it. Anyways, going back to the new card that is the Shooting Riser Dragon. All we know, guys, as of right now, again, they didn't reveal the effect, they just announced it, but it is a level 7 and it is a light monster. So I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool. You can use Destrudo really easy and summon it. That's all I really wanted to mention with it. We don't know what it's summoning. It might require like a very specific thing. It might require like another monster that's specific. But I just wanted to give you guys the knowledge that it is announced. So any of you Synchro players, you'll be a little bit more satisfied. Hopefully it's good. I hate when they like announce things. Well, I kind of like this card, and you're just like, well, how am I supposed to use it? But I want to say this card's it's got to be good, dude. It's been a while since we got a really insane like Synchro Dragon. I think the last one was like Crystal Wing that was like really beast, but due to the new whole you know, Master Rule 4. It's a little bit difficult. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. Mostly, I just want to know what can we use with Goddess of Sweet Revenge to make it really OP. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Yu-Gi-Oh discussions.